again everyone, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. My name is Mars, and today we're going to be doing an alternative meta strategy. I know some of you are expecting a Jiraiya guide video or something like that. That's going to be coming along as soon as I get the visual assets done for that. It does take a little extra time, but in the meantime, this was a strategy that was discovered while I was streaming. It was a ton of fun, and this takes a more gear-intensive approach to clearing a challenging piece of content instead of a unit-intensive approach. So, I'm going to highlight basically these three units, what they're going to be doing together, and how you can make a party out of them if you want to try to take on some difficult content. And this is an excellent example in role compression, because within these three units we have basically everything covered that we're ever going to need. So, Knight Noel in this case is built strictly for magic damage, and just a quick note, we are going against Calcabrina for our demonstration here. So, Knight Noel is built strictly for magic damage with the exception of the Midnight Star. That's the only tank piece he has on him, and yeah, magic damage only. Just because that's what we're going with. He's got some extra demon killers and stuff like that just to make the fight go a little faster, but otherwise status summon immunity is helpful in this fight, and then that's about it, just magic damage. And then Zarg here is full evade, and he's got status ailment immunity just in case. I don't think he needs it in Calcabrina, but he's basically covering our healing, he's covering our damage mitigation, he's covering our buffs, he's covering all kinds of supporty things. And Knight Noel's covering magic damage and tanking. Now, to be in this party, she is also built for full evade, and this is where I say that this is gear intensive instead of unit intensive. We're only taking 3 units into this fight, but with these 3 units built in this particular way, we're going to be able to clear the fight probably easier than if you were using a 6-man party. And the reason is because Knight Noel will cover our magic tanking, and he'll provoke all of the idle magic attacks and status ailments, and then these two are full evade, so they're not going to take any physical attacks, which means that this party will only take fixed damage that cannot be evaded, or and that's it. It's not anything else. It's just that if there's any fixed damage out there that bypasses evasion, that's what they're going to take. But you'll notice they're reasonably tanky units. So anyways, this was to kind of highlight an alternative strategy that you can try and run. This eats up all the damage that you're going to take with this particular party build. I know that it's not particularly new player friendly, but I thought it would be worth mentioning since it's Rico Rodriguez's TMR is another option for evasion instead of just Noctis's TMR. So for those of you who are still without equipment like this to try and put a strat like this together, it's best for you to know about this now so that when Rico's banner comes back around when he gets a 7-star, you can be ready to potentially go for it if this is something you're interested in. So that's enough of my rambling. Let's get on into the fight, and I will see everybody in there. Alright, so a tiny point of difference between the party that I showed you before I went in and the one that I actually went in. I changed 2B's Esper and gave her an ice weapon to help her damage go up a little bit more, with the imperils and with the boss being resistant to non-elemental damage. But other than that, that's basically the party. And now this little bit here at the end is kind of a test to see who actually listens to this video all the way through, because this is in no way a recommendation for people to build parties like this, because we really don't know whether or not it will be effective in trials that come out in the future. But it's to show that you can create some really creative things if, instead of focusing on great units or, you know, a fewer number of great units, you can instead bring some pretty clever gear builds along the way. And yeah, if you were looking to replicate something like this for yourself, you can definitely do it with another magic cover tank. The White Knight Noel is probably just about the only one who can do damage as substantial as his. And the other thing is that he is way tankier in a magic build than any other magic tank could be. So that definitely helped a lot. You definitely can substitute another magic tank in there if you want, but nobody's going to do damage like White Knight Noel. Zargoboth you could probably replace with just about any support. Zargoboth is handy because of his innate 40% evade, so it makes it much easier to get that full evade, especially if you're trying to get 2 evade units in there. Another thing you could consider is maybe using someone like Jiraiya instead of 2B if you're short on the gear, because Jiraiya has a lot of things that will proc physical evade anyways. So you can do clever, tricksy stuff like that. And of course 2B you can replace with any breaker. Just bear in mind that they will probably also be your primary damage dealer. So if you bring someone like Kryla, prepare for a long haul. So yeah, that's about it. This is just an alternate strategy that you can try to use. The nice thing about it is that it covers physical and magical damage super nicely while keeping decent damage within the party. The only thing that you'll take is fixed damage, so really handy. I'm going to keep this one in my back pocket just in case we find a trial where there's an awful lot of magic damage or there's an awful lot of physical damage and we want to kind of be able to deal with all of it, but I can't keep my party alive or whatever. This will be a little strategy I keep in the back pocket. So anyways, let me know if you like this. Let me know if you think this is even a practical strategy for people. Are there any fights in the future or now that you think this would be good for? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see everybody in the next one.